Get that in the right place for you, haven't I? Good morning. Good morning. Oh, happy Christmas. Well, it sounds awful to say it, doesn't it? But can you believe it? 6 months today, it'll be Christmas Day. Yeah, I can't quite believe it either. And it always seems really, really funny to me to start doing Christmas things in June. And before I was a proper crafter, I used to think all these people that start Christmas cards in June are quite frankly off their rockers. However, now I'm a proper one. I'm one of those people that's off their rockers. Although one of the reasons people do bring out all their new ranges at this time of the year is so that people can start making them to be able to sell at craft fairs, which will start in sort of October. So if you're not sort of up with the lads, that is a bit of an issue. So we wouldn't want that. So lots and lots of new companies, well, not new companies, but lots of companies bringing out all their new Christmas range. And we've already had the first lot of Sue Wilson, and I'm going to be using one of her dies today, which is this one, the Happy Christmas with the sort of shadow background. So I'm going to use that in my card today. And the next one up, and I'm delighted to have this because I don't very often get to have the chance of having this range. And I have gone with the new die sets from Phil Martin because I absolutely love these snowflake edges. Aren't they pretty? Now, this is one of a kind of basic card. So I'm going to do one a little bit up from that, but I've also got a little tiny one that's completely different from this that I'm going to do another one as well. Really, really simple, cut out beautifully. And so that's what we're going to be going with today. So I'm going to show you what we've got on offer first. So there are 3 of the shape die sets. So you've got this one, which is clearly the rectangles. You've got 10 dies in all in this one. So you've got an outer die here. And then you've got like I think he calls it a debossed stitch. So that makes your sort of covers inside, which is nice. Then you've got the next size down, the next size down, and then this sort of label one with 3 individual snowflakes as well, which is nice. And it comes with an A5 magnetic storage sheet. So they're all on there for you to store like that. I then store them in my plastic wallets, which is this one here. So that's your rectangles. That would fit onto an A5. You can see this is an A5 piece, so it fits onto your A5. Okay, so then we have got the circle one, which is 9 dies, and again fits onto the A5. You've got your stitch design in the middle, and that's them all sitting there. And then you've got the square ones, which are these 9 dies all together, outside edge with all of the design on it, and then you've got the lovely stitched areas even coming down to this little one here. So that all goes onto your A5 magnetic sheet. It's not a sticky magnetic sheet, so if you wanted to put it onto some board, which is often a way that I use them, then you would have to actually put some super glue type of stuff on there. Not super glue, spray glue I should say, because that would do the trick. But that's the main die set that I'm going to use today. So I'm going to use the square ones. Okay, so I am also going to bring in this selection. Now be prepared to be dazzled, I'm afraid. And I don't even know if you're going to be able to see them properly. Gosh, they look a bit, wow. I'm not quite sure that that comes out all that well, but I picked up some of these from Hunky Dory, which is their festive mirror range. They're 30 sheets, 2 of each colour, and they have got all the colours you could possibly want for Christmas if you want a bit of a change. And so it's nice to have a mix and match. Obviously, you've got your golds and silvers, your greens, your reds, but you've got your blues, your purples, your lovely light green, coppers, pinks even, and a shiny black. All ideal if that's the sort of thing that you like for a Christmas selection. And so from that Christmas selection, I have already chosen to use the dark blue. So I've grabbed a 7x7 card blank, and I've cut out from one of the sheets of the dark blue piece, which is 16 centimeters square. And then I found this old pad, it's called Winter Wonderland, from a couple of years ago, with things like rabbits and things like that on it. But I thought that that looked quite nice. It's a sort of generic background. And that piece is cut to 15.5 by 15.5. If you wanted it inches, you would be saying that this outer piece here would be about 6.5, the dark blue, and then this one 6.25. Okay, so that's my basis, and I've actually stuck that all down ready to go to now cut out some of the frames. I couldn't think what the word was that I was looking at. So I'm going to go first of all with this outer frame. So I'm going to pick up this one, which is no cutting inside edge. So that's going to give me a solid piece. It has got cutting obviously around the edge, and it cuts out really beautifully. So I'm just going to get another piece of my mirror card. I'll hold it that way so that you can see it there, but I'm going to just chop a piece. Oh, that's all very well when you've got silicone, you can't pick it up then. That's it. I'm only putting that on that side to measure it first, okay? Because I just want to be able to pop that onto there. Oh, it's alive. And I'm just going to turn it over and then press, take that into place like so, and run that through my machine. Just love snowflakes for Christmas. I just think that that is a very pretty effect. Oh, lots of babies around at the moment. That's nice. We like babies, pink ones and blue ones. Particularly like pink ones at the minute. I'm just going to turn it round. You can see that it's already cut out beautifully, but it's a very intricate die. And actually, I think I'm being a bit over fussy because I don't think I need to do it, but I will do. Because I do want to have to just pull this out, really. So just doing that. Oh, well done, Marion. You're there. Well done. I know a lot of people have trouble with the actual chat line. That sounds a bit much, doesn't it? But it's, yeah. Can you see that? Just absolutely fell out. And if I hold that on there, you can see how delicate those outside snowflakes are. Just so pretty. I can see me using this set quite a bit for Christmas because I think it's really lovely. Now, I'm actually going to cut out that once more because I think with this one, I'm going to go for 2 of the squares, 2 of the same size squares even. I might change my mind, but I'm going to cut that out as we go. So as we said, lots of Christmas things coming up at the moment. And I'm sure that you're aware in all of the media and online and on the TV and all sorts, all of... I don't think I need to worry about that, do I? But I don't, but I'm going to just pop that in there. So there's going to be all sorts of different things. And I know, as we've said before, that everyone thinks, oh, do you know what? I think I've got enough Christmassy things to last a lifetime. And then you see something, you think, oh, yeah, that would just be right, though, wouldn't it? So that is where I'm at. That is where I'm at. So let's just take this one off. So this is going to be a possibility. I'm not 100% sure. Now, that is your outer piece. So that's all done. And I'm going to pop that straight back onto the magnetic sheet that it comes with. Like that idea. Like that idea. So then I'm going to pick up this one, which is the second die in, but the first one of the straight edge and then the little bit of deboss detail. Now, what I'm not quite sure is whether I'm going to cut it both out from white or one of these or something like that. So I'm going to cut it out from here first. And I think that I'm going to do one in white as well. So I'll cut that one out first and pop that through. Obviously, when it comes to Christmas, it's sort of, we need the simple things to do. We don't want to be messing about. And if we're making, you know, many of us have got hundreds of cards to make. And so if you're making many of them, you don't really want to be doing a card that's going to take you. You will want the special ones, but you don't really otherwise want a card that's going to take you kind of like forever to do you? So subsequently, I've thought that we would go with, just grab the white card, that we would go with stylish and simple. That's what we like. Hi Sam, nice to see you here. Hope all is going well. Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, it is a really lovely set, isn't it? So yeah, and despite the fact that I'm probably going to roast in here, it is nice to have all of the Christmas bits and pieces. So let's see where I'm going with this. Really simple idea. Of course, Christmas really lends itself to glitter and all sorts of things. And you certainly could, we'll go through that in a second, you certainly could go to town with the glitter. But again, thought it would be a good idea to make that simple. I'm popping that back onto my design there. So let's grab hold of these. So what I'm thinking of is that I've got one, get it around the right way, one that's going to be just white. And then this one was going to have the same colour as the background on. And if I actually put that against it, let's see how we go. So what I'm thinking of is that this one is going to go that way around. So we've got the square there, which is beautiful in itself. But then this one I'm thinking of putting on top so that we've got that background of the white just showing through and showing that beautiful snowflake in all its glory then. And then pulling this one up a little bit and popping my sentiment on there, like that. Really, really simple, really simple. It lends itself, as we said, to sort of like a flower embellishment down here, doesn't it? Or maybe even some more of the snowflakes. I think some more of the snowflakes probably. I think I'm going to do that as well. So let's put this bit together as much as we can. So a little bit of glue onto here. When I show you the other one that I've done, which was really simple, I was looking for some card, not cards, some papers, and I came across some old gnome papers from Paper Tree or Paper Boutique, I think it was, from about 3 years ago. And I thought, oh, do you know, they would make a really good little image there as well. So I have just very quickly, it took me like 5 minutes. To be honest, it took me longer to find the card blank than it did to actually cut them out. I'll show you what I did in a minute. Giving such a lovely base here. So, you know what I've got to do, don't you? Top folding card. I'm going to layer them up with a bit of foam on the back first and foremost. Oops. I think Christmas is sort of like the biggest card making effort, isn't it? It's when people pick up card making that probably have never done it before, but they fancy having a go because there's some such lovely things. And I really like the cards myself that are quick and easy to do. Very few of us have got the time to do, you know, 4-hour or even longer ones. I do like doing them as well, though. And I can't wait until my all-day workshop in September, which will probably still be hot. But yeah, I can't wait till that. Got some fantastic stuff to use then. Really excited about all that. As I am all the other workshops, of course, but because I love doing Christmas, that one's going to be probably my favourite one of the year. So this one's got to be square on, straight on. So I'm just popping that down there. Love the contrast. And if you were to do this in the reds or the greens or even the pinks, it would again make such a difference as well. Now, I'm going to pop that onto there. So I'm going to put a bit of foam into that as well. I'm going to do that diagonally so that I can remember that that's the one that goes that way round. And then I'm just going to pop through some of the other, I think I'll take them from the circle die actually, die set, because in the centre of the circle die, not the circle die, sorry, the rectangular die, you've got 3 of your snowflakes. May well be other things coming out, but we certainly got them there. So let's just pop that in. And as you can see, I'm sort of hovering over the edge so that I can get it in equal, but you will see that your lovely little snowflakes are in each of the corners, which I think look really pretty. So let me just grab, see I've got the snowflakes in the centre there. Let's just grab this. And then we've got a scrap of the blue, because it's got to be in the blue, isn't it? We'll just pop them into the centre there. That to one side. We know we're going to put the Happy Christmas on. Let's see how these cut out. I haven't tried these. So that should be fun. There is also, with this new range, there is the on the edge sentiments. I'll show you them in a second or two as well. I thought that they looked nice and different. I might use them later on, not today as we won't have any time to do those today. Very pretty, aren't they? Look at them. Just pick them up. Whoops. Now, not quite sure. I think we're going to need, I'm going to give myself the chance, let's put them on there so I don't stick them onto the thing. I'm going to just cut those out once more. Just pick them up and move them on, because I think I might want a few more than just those 3. Just pop that in. They're made out of sort of like a Teflon, I think we'd call it, Teflon coated, but the sort of bluey colour of the metal. So they're quite good at not having to sort of poke out very much and getting caught. She says, hopefully. That is, let's make sure that I don't lose these little tiny dies. Pop them onto there. There we go. Pretty, aren't they? I'd like the colours though, I must admit. The other colour one that I used was the sort of like an aqua colour, which I thought looked really nice as well. So here's my Merry Christmas. No, or even Happy Christmas. And I'm kind of thinking of just popping 1 or 2. There we go. Oh, sorry, it's up the top. So let me just, now with the Happy Christmas, I have used some 300 GSM white card at the back. It is actually a hammered finish card, but to be honest, you probably can't see that very well. But I'm not going to put any foam on the back. I've used that 3 times. I've cut out the white piece 3 times, so that is very almost like a piece of hard grey board, as they call it, but sort of like board. So that's giving me dimension as opposed to putting foam on it. I didn't want it to be really sitting out there, so I've used that, done it that way instead. And then I've just cut out the sentiment itself from the blue mirror card again, but only once. Not least for the fact that I find sometimes the sentiments are rather difficult, especially if you've got a long word, to mount up. You know, we often layer them so that it gives us that substantial sentiment. But when you've got one that's, this one is about 5 inches long. And when you've got one that's that long, it often can give you, well, it gives me nightmares in order to try and get it sitting one on top of the other. You know, hope you know what I mean. I know what I mean. Just as well I do, I suppose. Obviously, I'm putting these on with dry as clear glue, so it will dry clear. I'm not being fussy. I'm only putting glue on in the centre because I feel that that will probably be enough. Oh, where my fingers there. So I think that that just allows you a little bit more. I really like that. I love this delicate edge. So what I was saying, how could you make this, you know, even more? Okay, so with the waterfall cards that we've got, this would, if you cut out this with the waterfall card, either in the gold or the silver, this would really, really sparkle. So that would be lovely. You could also obviously, I was thinking that one or other, maybe that white one, I could have put some glitter behind, so I could have put a double-sided sheet, adhesive sheet on it, and then sprinkled glitter all over it. In actual fact, you can't see very much of it, so maybe that might not have been quite so necessary. But I think if you use your glitter card with it anyway, your mirror card, it probably will do the trick because it's really shining there, isn't it? So yeah, it's really lovely. Let me show you this other one. So this other one that I've got a little tiny card here, which I think was about a 5 by 5. Got, again, was looking for old paper, got an old scrap piece of paper, and just trimmed that down so that that is my background. It's got some sort of snowflakes on it, so it was from an old Christmas well, pad. I don't know if it was a pad or not really. It was just a piece that was lying in there. But I quite liked the grey. So this is like a grey with the white, because I then cut myself out a piece in white because I kind of thought that that looked nice, just the white. You could, of course, then just get a sentiment, a stamp or anything that just says Happy Christmas, or maybe a festive verse, which again would be very nice. This type of thing would be ideal if you were making into sort of like a gift to give someone, maybe someone that you know that can't get out very much. You make just 10 Christmas cards up in a pack that literally have a piece of paper at the background, this cut out in white, and Merry Christmas written on it. It's sorted. But what I did was I got myself, let's just grab them. I got myself some, as I said, of these. They were from a pad, as I say, 2 or 3 years ago. And they are the toppers from it. And so I used an image, the one that's here, which I'll show you in a second. And I just literally took the stitch detail from that one. So that's die number 4. And I popped that over. Now, not all of these images would work like that, but generally they do. And you can see, if I show you that, hold on a second, I show you that, you can see that I've got the hat sticking out, this tiny little bit of Christmas tree sticking out, and down here his shoes are. So I'll show you what I did. Chop that one off, and chop that one off as well. So I simply went round anything that's actually hanging over the edge and cut just into the edge, just about, oh gosh, probably the first time I've ever had to say it, 1/16 of an inch or a couple of millimeters. And I've just trimmed that down there. So now you've got that little hat is hanging over the edge loosely. I'm going to trim the Christmas tree again, just into the actual design itself, just fractionally. So the Christmas tree is hanging over the edge. And then down here, I'm going to trim around the boots and the end of his little moustache here, and then just flick into there. So this one's quite an intricate one. The one that I chose is better, if you could call it that. So then I just need to place this die so that the feet are hanging over the edge. The Christmas tree is hanging over the edge. And I need to just let myself be able to get in there a bit more. That's it. That, and then you can see I've just got the hat. It's just got to be trimmed down a little bit more. Take that off. It's got to go a bit further in with the hat. So I wouldn't choose quite such a fussy one where there's so many edges that are over, so many images that are over the edge. But I just wanted to show you how I did it. And so we've got to then pop the hat over the top. So when it's all done, we try and keep it as straight as possible. Tape that into position. Run that through our machine. And as I said, the tip of the tree, tip of the hat, I beg your pardon, tip of the tree there and the tip of the feet are all hanging out over the edge. So that will not be cut. Just run that through. Just take those bits off. Now I'm going to pop this onto the back of that one so that you can see. You can see what I mean, that having popped that on there, we then put that onto our little thing, and you can see that I know it was a little bit annoying, but by chopping that out and the little feet and the little bit of tree, it just gives you, rather than a straight square, do you see what I mean? Just a little bit of something different. However, that isn't the one that I used. This was the one that I used because he only needed the tip of his hat there cut out. But again, if you have something like this hanging around with little toppers, it just makes just perfect little cards. Of course, it's got to have a bit of foam on the top, hiding underneath here. So just finish that off. So 3 different cards showing you today, all using up some of your existing bits and pieces that you might have, but I just think the delicacy of these edges is beautiful. So I hope that you like them. So I will be back on Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock. A little bit more Christmas will be arriving then as well. So something for you then. And then next week, next Sunday when I'm back, because it will already be the 2nd of July, it will be Card Kit. Card Kit of the Month will be launched on the first Sunday of every, well, virtually the first Sunday of every month. I won't be doing a Christmas one on that one though. I think that I want to try and still keep our sort of head above ground with Christmas. I don't want to be completely swamped by Christmas. Let's get it round the right way. That was lucky that I tried it. So Christmas Card Kit next month will not be Christmas, but it probably will be the following one. So there you go. There's our little gnome. So, hold on a second. Let's bring that in so that you can actually see it. There you go. There we go. So there are 2 cards for you for today. Well, 3 really, because this one is another one using the circles this time. So again, very, very simple. And I used an older die that I've got there just for the sentiment, and you can possibly see that this is more the sort of aqua colour, which I thought was lovely. And it's literally, this was 1 piece of the mirror card and 1 piece of the white card just cut out, and that's it done. And I think that that's a mantelpiece pleaser, as they say, or as I say, a Harrods card, just a simplistic. But this one, then you take it up a little bit more of a level, or you even go cute and go something like that. So let me remind you what we've got there. We have the square die set. They're called Charmed Snowflake or Charming Collection, Charmed Snowflake squares. We've got the circles, and then we've got the rectangles. And then the ones that I didn't show you, which are available as well, are the on the edge dies. I will show you those another time. Happy Christmas in the 2 sizes with the 2 backgrounds, and then Merry Christmas as well. So lots to have a look at and maybe treat yourself with. I'll pop these up on the Facebook page later, and also they'll be available on YouTube in just a short while. I'll have to just go through that and edit it for you before it all goes on. So I hope that you like them. As I said, I'll be back on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Do hope that you can join me then. Have a good rest of the day. Not too many jingle bells, but I do hope you've enjoyed my latest collection for the festive season 2023. Can you believe it? Okay. Oh, I have just seen that it's already sold out. Oh my goodness. Thank you, everybody. Wow. Right, okay, I will make a phone call then. I'll make a phone call tomorrow, and I will check with Phil whether they have got some more stock, but hopefully they should have. So yeah, thank you very much for your support. That's really good, and I'm glad you liked it too. I'll pop that up on the Facebook page tomorrow to let everybody know when the next lot will be coming in. Okay, thanks very much, everyone. Take care. See you soon. Bye.